That one person in there, that's me.
Okay, I hit the go live button, so I think we're live. How do you feel about that?
Hey, feel great.
Are we live?
Yeah. It's still
No.
flashing.
It will be on a delay.
Are we true for really? Oh, we are. Look at that. It's right there.
Oh my god.
Cool.
I'm not seeing it. That one person in there, that's me.
Folks tuning in, I haven't figured out the flashing yet, and I apologize in advance. You might want to just listen to the podcast for this one.
You or maybe not.
Oh yeah, it's doing that again.
It sounds like we're in space.
Trying to get to the.
I want to just listen to the podcast.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Let's tear it up. I'll talk a lot now because we're not into discussion yet because I won't have much to say later. We're Dendron. I'm Quinn from Dendron. I play bass.
I hit things.
That's it. Ben.
That's Dendron. I don't play guitar.
Nope, he's fooled us for years into thinking he plays guitar. That's what the stream is about.
Are we live now? This is a fun story. For
Oh,
the
yeah.
live.
Oh, are we live?
Do you guys remember?
Cool. I posted it.
The.
Do you want to?
Ryan's gonna tell a story.
Oh, funny story.
You're fucking
Black and the Cursed Sun. Black and the Cursed Sun fell out of the bands or something at the glacier. I don't know. Connor was sick. We got Colin on stage using Mitch's guitar, and we plugged the cable into Colin and tucked it behind the amp and had the amp on so that everyone thought because the light was on he was part of the band. He's literally just running around rocking out playing nothing. Doesn't know how to play guitar.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was so much fun.
I think we should do that again. Actually, we should get a bonus band member someday, like a hype man.
Oh God. Okay. Anybody know how to? I'm gonna share it on the pages.
What? Oh,
I
yeah.
shared it on my Facebook. We should put. Huh.
I don't post things on Facebook. Like, there's no point. I don't think.
No.
The Facebook doesn't get much response like at all.
Boo.
I think we can post-
Already.
I've got the link copied, so I can just do that.
I got the link. I got the link.
So we are live, correct?
Oh, yeah.
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
Everything you say is going to be up here forever.
Oh yeah, it'll outlive.
Forever and ever. Okay, so I guess we'll start talking. So we streamed twice before, and the last two times we were talking about music that we like. So I was thinking maybe today we could talk about our own music, starting with an update on where we are with our album because we were writing an album, and we were hoping to start recording before the end of March. And we were pretty much on time to do that, but then, it happened.
Yeah, it was the before times.
The Factory Boys reunion tour.
Yeah, that was back when time mattered.
We got a lot of euphemisms.
Anyway, so basically where we are is we're there. We have one song that is, I'm not sure if I would say mostly done, but I'm almost done the lyrics. I had them done, and then I didn't like them, so then I rewrote most of it. It happens. And pretty much as soon as this whole thing is lifted, then we're gonna start recording. Hopefully.
Hell yeah.
We we are set to do that.
We're ready and to go.
And like, and I don't know about you guys, but I've never felt as good about a collection of songs as the collection of songs that we have right now, because we've all kind of written a lot of music at this point, and man, like we got a couple real good ones. Like 3% we've gigged a bunch, and it's kind of it's the meme, the bum 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 bum. But the other two that we've cooked up as well, really stand out to me are the what we've been calling the Shed song and the Connor Ryan song, which have real names. Uh, but Shed song is the really chill opener. It's definitely not as heavy as the rest of it, and I think that that song is a doozy. We started it back in 2017, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. And then we have the song that pushes the album over the 30-minute mark, which is what we've been calling the epic. And it is standing right now at, I think it's like 12 and a half minutes long.
Yeah, stupid long.
It's an example of where we take a name and then we make a song around that name, which is what we do pretty often.
The song is
On the
really
last
thick.
album, I said I wanted to make a build-up song, so we made a build-up song. Or the last EP, I should say.
Yeah, it's called the Glass Spire, but yeah, we just refer to it as the build-up song because that's what it is.
It is. It builds up and then it builds up again.
I never
Yeah.
use the real names. I still don't use the real names.
And yeah, no, the real
I don't
names are
think
just
I
for the
know
people.
them properly. Yeah, I don't think I think I would play the wrong song if you told me to play
I think
from the first EP.
the only song that goes by its name is Wither.
It's
Yeah,
true.
it's the only one we call it. That's the only one we
No,
call
Wither
it.
has a code name.
Roots, our weary roots is usually shortened to Roots. Just say Roots.
The first song.
Or the first song. Just call it the first song.
Pyro Scientist, my favorite.
Yeah, that Pyrison. That's the dirty song, and if you've heard it live, it's stanky. And like that's an example of a song off of the first EP that I think we were like, this is kind of what we want to go for.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like Wither was very much the pilot song. It was a pilot episode
Yeah.
for Dendron.
I remember you
It was like,
showed-
I had
you-
the song mostly picked up.
Yeah, you showed me those riffs when you were just like, "Hey, you want to like make a band and try to make some prog riffs?"
I had a couple, but I feel like we can all agree that we're probably never ever gonna make another song that's like that again.
Definitely. I think, and I remember Dirty Song in particular. It was like we were really just kind of trying stuff, and like it was like, I don't know about this, but let's try to make the dirtiest thing we can for this one song. But then it turned out to actually really work, and that was kind of like dangerous in a way because now we'll try anything.
I remember we didn't have any regard for like if the riffs flow into each other or anything like that. We're kind of just like we just want to have a bunch of riffs together and we're like, well, fuck it, it flows. We think it flows, but whatever.
Like, yeah, even the first part of the song is just so like evil. It's like I don't know if those are chords that go together. That they don't sound like chords.
I was like one of the worst notes to put together.
And you know what? Something that might not be known is that I threw that thing on the prog metal subreddit, and we got a decent amount of attention. It like stayed up around the top of the subreddit for most of the day, and we got about 250 views,
Yo.
300 views out of that. Yeah, I was like, whoa, shit. And I did ask for like threw it out there as like this is off our first EP. What do you think? If leave some criticism if you feel like it. And a couple of people pointed out a few things that I think are universally I don't like about the EP, which is that the vocals have problems with the coming in on time and just the general production, and
Yeah. I remember
they're a little rough.
I had no ear for vocal recording at the time, so I was like, I don't know what to do with these. I don't know if they sound good.
Yeah.
I think we definitely learned a lot in that respect, and are definitely ready to one up that part.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm excited for. Is that I'm gonna do it right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be
Yeah.
recording again. It's gonna be a weird, fun hellscape,
Yep.
and we get to
Yeah.
traverse it. Like
Yeah.
I've written myself into a hole with some of these parts when it comes to recording. This is gonna talk a lot.
Yeah. Like the beginning of a Connor Ryan song. It's
Yeah, it sucks.
it's gonna be called Pull Guard. Yeah, that's like I think that might be actually my favorite song. Like I understand that Connor and Ryan actually wrote this song a couple years ago. Like when was that? 2018.
That was also 2017.
That was also
Probably a little bit
2017.
before Shed Song.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I came up with that intro riff, the dun, 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 and I was just jamming that for myself. And then me and Connor were just hanging out for sake of hanging out, and I showed him this riff, and we just started writing a song about it. And by the end of the night, we had it like completely done, and we were recording it. But we weren't in a band or anything together anymore, right? The Dendron being a full band playing shows wasn't a thing that was happening yet. So we didn't have anything to do with it. So we made it hard as fuck because it had never seen the light of day.
Yep.
And then we show it to you, and now we have to play it live.
Also, the one song we didn't really write as a band. You guys wrote it, and then now we just play it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But in a way, I mean, like I wrote the vocals, and you also wrote most of the drums as well.
That's true.
But it's
That's
the one
the thing. In essence, like, what is a Dendron song if not a Connor Ryan song with Peter and Nathan?
That's true. I think really we can get into it more as we go through it, but I think that's in a way it's become at least a part of what the process is now.
Yeah.
It's pretty repeatable.
Well, it definitely
Oh.
starts with most of the time, I feel like.
Starts with riffs. It's all riffs.
Yeah.
Always riffs.
I hit the thing, so I can't really do much when it comes to guitar. And even if I have suggestions, I never know really what to like for you guys to do. It's like I always have to leave it up to you guys to do.
Yeah, it works well in
Yeah.
like a jam setting where you can describe it and I can start trying stuff like, you mean this?
Yeah.
Let's go this.
Yeah.
Oh man, Connor translating my nonsense into what I want to hear is fucking incredible. Yeah, that's pretty much because that's how we always write songs. So yeah, we either take riffs or we think of a theme. We're like, this is gonna be a build-up song. This is gonna be an epic. this is or it just starts with riffs. Connor, I don't remember this. Maybe you could tell me. So the beginning of 3%,
Yeah.
the we had that already done, but did you already have the next part ready before we jammed that one time? Because I know it didn't take us very long to put that song together.
I remember very vaguely. It was like right after we did the first EP. We jammed like a couple times in that old jam spot in Southbrook. Like maybe like a small handful of times. And I was like, hey, check out this riff I have. It rips off Meshuggah. Duh, 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 and the duh, 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 duh. But we didn't really we I don't know what happened with it. It's just kind of got, and I'd forgotten about that for quite a while. And then I remembered, I was like, oh shit, that's right. Because I think I found the demo on my laptop. It was very old. And then when we kind of came back to writing, like 2 years ago now, I think, I was like, hey, let's develop this thing. And try to see how much how much we could get. That's another one where we really try to see how much we can get away with. But in a specific way. There's ways that the song's very simple, but then that allows there to be ways in which the song is,
fucking
I feel like
stupid.
that song kind of gave us a lot of confidence as a band because it's hard.
Yeah.
Like it's hard on the brain, and we can just do it now, which is sick.
I
And
remember I needed to be. Oh, go ahead.
it's I just think it's another stepping stone. Like if Dirty Song is step one, 3% was step two, and now we're kind of getting more fucky with it.
I think Epic is step 3.
Epic might be
If
step
Epic-
3 actually.
Yeah, it's
Epic
gonna
comes
turn
out-
out on me, I think.
If Epic comes out well, I think that's like we can do whatever we want. I think that after that point, it's like we have the confidence to do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, I think it is coming out well too. You know, like it's.
I love it. Oh.
I love what it's turned into. It's fucking great.
It like to me and to talk about our writing process, like that's a song that I feel like that tested everything that we knew, because we're kind of lazy in the sense that it always starts with a riff. So we take a riff and we're like, okay, what else do we have? And then somebody might play something, or somebody might have an idea. It's like, what about a part like this? But usually we're just we take a bit, and then we try to find a part that fits them together.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
we
okay.
work and we fucking piece it together. We get an ending part way before the end of the song. It's like, that's how we're gonna end it. Except for the Shed song, which we took an old riff we had no idea what to do with, that we couldn't get out of.
Yeah, the action
Like,
riff.
It was always the problem. It's like, what could we do after this? Nothing comes after
Yeah,
this.
we couldn't
And
turn it
that's
into a
why
song
it's
because the riff's too good.
Yeah. So it's an ending.
So you stick it at the end. Yeah.
Dendron is
But
just
yeah.
a series of song endings.
Yeah, but Epic was not. Epic was like,
There's so many moving parts. It's like if you take the other songs and they're like a fucking 10-piece puzzle, you know, and you have a riff and you just need to surround it. The Epic is a wonking 100-piece puzzle, and you can't do it that way.
yeah. It's like, and the song
And
it has
was
so
dirty to figure out how to do it.
it has two distinct parts, and they have two different. They're very different, but I do feel like they kind of have the same like gloomy vibe that the whole thing has. It's very gloomy.
Definitely.
Weird for an Epic.
Yeah, and it started off as like your riffs. You're like, I have this tapping part.
Yeah,
And
you've
then
been
you had a
that
bunch of
forever
other stuff,
too.
I had a lot of that song for a long
I
time.
think-
There was riffs aplenty.
That was from around the
The
same
song-
time as the Connor Ryan song, I think.
No, it wasn't that. No.
No, was it more like when we started playing
It
as
was-
Dendron, I guess?
Even later, it was within the past like year, definitely.
Oh, you think so? Oh shit! I'm just that familiar with the riff now. It's like this must have been
It
around
was
there.
definitely after 3%. So I feel like it was slightly after 3%. Like we wrote that song. 'Cause that song,
Because it got brought around, you know, I didn't start doing it until we were looking for more stuff to write for a supposed new album or
Right,
EP
right,
at the time.
Yeah.
yeah, and the first part of the song is just so dirty. It's so
I like the distinct chapters of the song where you've got this long, really greasy section, and then this other faster section, and then the chill out, and then the build up.
it definitely. Yeah, it was first just like a whole this mostly just a progression of riffs, and then we made it so that there were parts that came back, but even if they came back a little bit different the second time, and eventually like the first part of the song has a nice little structure to it, right?
Yeah, that's
that
true.
tapping part at the beginning of the song, it comes back. We give a little bit of a allude to the kind of chorusy part that's still evil.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
I think
Yeah.
the vocals as well.
What'd you say, Ryan?
The vocals really brought it together as well. Like gave it a really full feeling. And now when I listen to it, it's kind of like it's a very good journey. Like it's hard to say about your own music sometimes, but I feel like
Yeah,
we got what we wanted. At least I got what I wanted.
I definitely got what I wanted.
You know, and by that I mean like it doesn't feel like 12 minutes. It just feels like I
12
start
minutes.
listening to it and it just felt, you know, done.
Yeah, that's like oh, go ahead.
Like yeah, the first half, like up until like when it switches into a cleaner section, like that first part of the song is just a fucking ride. Like it feels like nothing. It's like
Yeah.
it just I don't know. It flows so well. I think.
Yeah, like when we play it, it feels like maybe 1 minute, but it is like 4 or 5 minutes.
It's 4.5, I think. And that's like it's just like it's just like Omega off of the
Mhm.
Periphery's album. 4.5 minutes of dirty, and then it gets pretty for the rest of the song, or more or less pretty. I think that's a lot more pretty than what we have. Ours still is gloomy.
Yeah, ours gets heavy again too. It goes back to place. I like the
That's
place.
great.
Yeah, and you know what? It's kind of more like Reptile by Periphery. That song is really fucking long, but it also doesn't feel like it.
No.
And
Yeah, and it's its own journey as well. It's got that slow drony middle bit too.
yeah, it's like, well, they're very different songs, but I also really think, like, that's the first thing I think about this song. I'm like, that was almost 13 minutes. How?
Yeah,
Especially where, like, most of the song is the ending, and most of the song you think is like, oh, it's just like two sets of the same kind of progression up to a chorus, which is the only chorus we've actually ever had. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's the only chorus we ever had.
What are those about?
Yeah, it's just
music is
there was so
weird.
much room.
Maybe that's what we'll do
But
to
yeah,
Rebel
no-
on the next one. We'll be like, this one's got choruses. Yeah, fuck you.
no, never. Maybe.
We could replace chorus sections with chorus pedals.
I mean, I put chorus
Yeah.
effects on some shit.
Yeah, but that's like all the songs on the EP, like the 4 songs we have done, I feel great about. Like every single one of them.
Now, the fifth one, I'm also
Don't know how to
like,
feel about.
you say you don't know how I feel about it?
Oh, I said don't know how I feel about Trance Song.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say that like
because-
it's not like I was saying. We were talking earlier about it. And, like, it's not like done. All the details aren't set in place, but we have the sort of the nugget at the middle that we have. I think is. I'm sort of not worried about how it's gonna turn out in a way.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident with the trance song. Like, it's what we have there is good. Like, it's a good song like, in itself, but it just needs like the bulk, like a little more layers on top.
It's gonna groove deep.
Oh, it's
yeah.
gonna be.
What else do we
Yeah.
want to think about?
A lot of counting.
A lot of counting.
I never count. I feel.
Lot of counting. I always have to count at first.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. You count it first, and then you're in it, and then you feel it.
I never count. I just if I fuck it up, I just go back and listen to it again until I don't have to count.
Oh man, I was recording guitars just for something else the other day, and it was this long section that repeats like it's long and repeating for like maybe like 2 minutes, and I just got lost in it recording it, and I managed to figure out the timing.
Yeah, that's right. The trance song is like, with the two polyrhythms on the bass, it really brings it to life. Because especially since they're so prominent, I wanted to stay that way with the bass.
Yeah,
like
I
I wanted
agree.
the bass to be very much there in the song.
It's what's making all the it's what's making it groove really. It's just like a simple
Yeah.
bass groove, but then the fact that there's this other stuff going on makes it sound more of a deep groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the way that the two bass lines are kind of similar too. They have the bing bong, or in regards to the second one, it still ends in the da da, even if it's longer.
This isn't going to translate well for anyone at home when you're just
Okay.
Yeah, and then it goes boom, 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 boom.
It goes boom boom and it goes doom 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 doom.
Oh, we'll be like that Bill Maya song, Punisher. All I have is just.
Ryan, your screen looks so blue, Ryan. Or is
What?
it gold?
Ha! Burn.
I don't know why that is.
Peter, you
My
want
camera
to
is
talk
here
about
probably.
Peter, you wanted to talk about our demoing process and like their drive thing. What did you want?
Oh,
Oh!
Yeah. So we're like definitely like 21st century nerds. Like I don't know how we would have done like 30 years ago, where we couldn't easily demo a song, because it's so important. It's such an important part of our process now, is making a demo and making refinements on it. And at least it's super important for me because that's what I write the vocals to. Like I usually write all my vocal parts alone.
Yeah.
It's pretty essential for me too because I used to have a drum kit set up, but now I don't. So all my writing is done at home, or it's at home on like a practice pad or like my electric drum kit, but it's still not the same as like jamming. I'd much rather write while jamming because that's when like the ideas really flow for me, especially for me.
Yeah.
So I really need the demo to at least get like a framework, and then usually like jamming it out in like the practice space when things kind of come together.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
testing
I
it
feel-
at the end in the jam room is a big thing.
Yeah, the demo does a lot to communicate the idea, I think. It's like maybe the demo's like 80% of the way, but then being in person, I think playing it out really gets you, it's like the test flight. You can kind of figure out what's really working or not.
There's a
Yeah.
magic that we had in the jam room too. Like just, but at the same time, like I do agree. I need to have a lot of time on my own to write stuff because I can't come up with some of these tapping parts on the fly.
All
You
the
know?
nuggets have to be done alone.
Yeah, the really big stuff needs real work, and I can't concentrate with like all these people around me, all this other music going on, and I'm trying to write a weird little bit. Now, for Shed Song, actually, the taps at the end were sort of written in the jam room because you guys were playing the end, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to play those chords. What do I do? And then I just started tapping a random thing, and I was like, that kind of almost works. Hey. And I did that for a jam, and I went home and sat on it, and then next time, tapping part written.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I think
So
that's
that
my
was a
favorite
bit of a
guitar
lucky
bit.
one. That's a bit of a lucky one, but for the most part, I have to really sit down and think about it for a while. It's hard to just pull that shit out of your ass.
It's true.
Yeah. I feel like we talk more about like the structures and where the song is going to go at jam. Like jam is like practicing, and then like also, okay, this is where we are. What comes next?
Yeah.
And then we're kind of like, I don't know. And then sometimes it is a matter of like somebody thinking on it for a while and coming back with a better idea. But yeah, that's more of like where we put the song together per se.
And it all goes into a Google Drive.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all stored in the
Got a boatload of them.
central
We get-
location.
This thing is huge.
Like Epic Revision 22.
We're at
22.5.
9. We're at 9.
Yeah, 9 demos.
It's ridiculous.
Demos.
And the
It
first
does-
few were that jumblation of riffs.
Yeah, it was sort of built. It started as just scattered bit of sort of bits, and then slowly took shape.
Jumblation is a great word.
Real word. It's real. Google it.
Google it. I might.
Yeah, we keep everything in the drive. We also have tab for all of our songs as well.
Mhm.
We also have a place for like nuggets. So you listen to this.
Nugget. For gaping ideas.
It's called the ovens where we put our nuggets.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Google nuggets.
I know,
Jumblation, not a
I'm
word.
excited to write the next thing as well. It's gonna be
Definitely.
good.
Season 3 is going to be fun.
I think
gonna
we
be
really
weird.
we really refined our process. I feel like the next like thing is gonna really, I think it's gonna like flow really well because like we haven't had like even with a 12-minute song, it wasn't too much of a struggle. I also didn't write. You guys wrote the fucking song, so I just kind of.
Oh, I think it was a
It felt
struggle.
like a long time. Yeah, it felt like a long time, but that's because like how many hours a week do we spend on it? Like
That's true too.
It's stressful.
That one was well. The thing is, it was like sort of large enough and sort of it was large enough that you couldn't really figure out the whole thing at once. So you're kind of laying down the next step in front of you, and then sort of as you go, piece by piece. So it became as sort of trying to just routinely work on it rather than just like wait for the burst of inspiration or something. It was just sort of a bit by bit process I found.
Yeah.
It makes,
Motivation's hard to find sometimes.
it makes me wonder about the recording process of like, or the writing process of things like Between the Buried and Me. Like, this was our experience with a 12-minute song. Colors is all one song.
Yeah, I have no idea.
How do you just like do that? How does your brain write that fucking story?
You just
I know
take
a lot of
riffs.
bands are
Sorry, what's that, Nathan?
a lot of bands kind of do the similar thing like we do. I know like I watched like a video on how architects record, or and basically everyone has their own like at home studio. So like they'll just send the demos and people will jam it at home like with like a guitar track, the drummer will take the guitar track and do like a demo of the drums, and then send it back to see what everyone else like thinks of. We have like a lower tech version of that. Like I wish I could record the drums and demo them myself. But
Yeah, it's sort of like the
Yeah.
exactly. We're just doing as much as we can now, and then
yeah,
making it work.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, how did people do it back in the day? Like, you had to write everything in the jam room. So either you're gonna spend a lot of time in the jam room, or you're gonna write stuff that's gotta be simpler. Like,
Yeah.
it was.
Or you just I present you guys some music. I have it all written on this paper by hand.
Another option.
think about like an orchestra. Like that's insane. It's like all those moving fucking parts and like being able like to actually make a concise song out of that's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's a lot. Early prog, dude.
Early prog,
Yeah.
exactly.
That was a genre of excess, for sure.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone else? What else? What else were we going to talk? What was the like last thing? Was there one more thing? Wasn't there?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I just kind of wanted to kind of do a little deep dive on how our writing process goes and what we think of our own music thus far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And you can say what you will about anyone who listens to his own music, but if you're not listening to your own music while you're writing it, I don't know.
Yeah, what
If
else
you
are
don't
we here
think-
to... If no
if
one
you
else
don't
listens
think
to
it's
it.
the best shit in the world, who else is gonna think it's the best shit in the world?
Exactly.
Gotta make shit you like. If you don't like it, then why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the quality control for the riffs that I write. Is just like, do I absolutely love it? No, it doesn't need to be in a song.
You've got to Marie Kondo
Yeah.
your riffs.
What?
You have to Marie Kondo your riffs.
Yeah, dude.
Hold it up to see if they
Yeah.
bring you joy. That said, though, like there's definitely distinctly been if not entire songs, then definitely parts of songs where it's like we're sort of writing the instrumental song, and it's like there's still some sauce missing from this to really bring it to the level where I'm digging these riffs. But then that's what the vocals have done pretty repeatedly, which is nice. I'm at the point now where I can sort of depend on it. I can say, let's leave this part a little empty, and then the vocals will be good.
Yeah, I feel like pre-Dendron, me writing stuff just by myself was very like, this riff is kind of shit. But thinking back, I'm like, was it shit, or did it just need a whole band behind it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, just the guitar part is like, but that's what excites me about like this new tapping part I wrote the other day, is what's that gonna sound like with everyone in it? By the way, I'm already working on what I want for the rhythm under that.
Nice.
So
That's
give me
good.
a little cool harmony.
I mean,
Yeah, being able to like explain your ideas to other like the rest of the band is important, because like sometimes you hear something that somebody else might not know what to do with.
Yeah, for sure.
Though that's one thing that the trance song's gonna be have that's interesting is that we usually write like guitar centered, like guitar driven, or guitar oriented. So everything starts with the guitar. The guitar part's always interesting, sort of, to some extent, and then everything else is built on it. But the train song it does have a guitar part going through it, but then it's got another guitar where we're really going to get to experiment with guitar parts that aren't grabbing your attention, which I think will be cool.
Yeah, yeah. Usually both guitar parts are like completely done, and then I write vocals over them. But this time, the vocal part is going before the second guitar, and I'm really excited to see how it sounds. I'm excited to see because that could bring a whole new thing into the process that we have right now, which I think is working really well.
I think it'd be a good axis to try exploring in the future. I think is to try. Like there's bands that'll write a song and then the song kicks in, there's an intro, and then it goes into the first verse, and in the first verse there's no guitar playing, it's just drums and bass and vocals. That's a pretty common thing that we just haven't even tried yet, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
To be fair, I'd be bored.
Yeah, it'd have to be brief.
That's fine. Yeah, no, but we have one. We do have one in the epic. There's a small drum and bass part.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's very tasteful. I love the way that fits in that song.
Yeah, that was another night that, like, we held out on that one for quite a while, and then at the very end, it's like, okay, I hope whatever we find something that works here.
Yeah.
And then it came together nice. That was good.
Yeah, yeah. Really excited I'm really excited to hear people's idea of that song specifically, just to see if other people think that it doesn't feel like it is as long as it is, and it is like a nice adventure.
I'm really. I miss what you guys are talking about. But I really want to hear people's opinion on the shed, like the shed sound. Does it have a name?
Dodging glances.
Yeah, that's the one.
Dodging. I totally forgot about that. That's the one song. Like I want to show my mom. I know Peter said this. Like I want to show my mom that song. I want to see if she like if I could get my parents to actually like the song that I made, because it's not really that heavy.
No, it's very pretty.
Upbeat too, which I like.
Yep.
Yeah, it goes a lot of places.
But I like that it manages to do the. What's that?
I said upbeat. Go ahead.
I like that it's still like it's very different from everything. It doesn't have the weird or creepy stuff going on, and it's upbeat, it's happy and stuff. But it still kind of sounds like us regardless.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is that it's like it's got a group. It does a lot of sort of playing back and forth with the 3-time, where it's doing triplets or it's doing like I can't remember how to describe it. I think it's the difference between 3/4 and 6/8, but it does a lot of you get that nice interplay. So then it's not like our song sounds nice and it sounds accessible, and that means that it's boring. It's definitely still engaging while still being easier to listen to, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely. I'm a very big fan of that song. If the Connor Ryan song isn't my favorite, that's my favorite, because ooh.
I'm still really epic song though.
Oh, but Ryan, it has that tappy part that you made like after the chorus.
Shed song.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite guitar bit. It has to be.
Yeah, I haven't made this video, but the showcase page, Curtis Connors said he wanted everyone to post their favorite guitar thing they wrote or whatever. And
I didn't see that.
It's hard to say if that's my actual favorite one, but it's definitely up there. I play favorite to a lot of my new tapping bits because they're really fun. But it'll either be that one or the epic one.
The one at the end?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a killer riff.
Yeah, it's fucking nice.
I remember you showing me. I was like, slam dunk. This is going right at the end.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be so fun to watch people throw down live. That's the big thing. I'm really excited to play Epic live. That's gonna be a test.
I'm gonna see if we can actually do it. I'm sure we can, but it's gonna be fun.
Oh, we can do it. We can absolutely do it.
Man, we're gonna be gig rusty.
Yeah, we can throw out that as a thing too. That like folks who are able to see us live, we do definitely plan to do a gig with this out album and then play the whole album. That's something we're really excited about doing.
Yeah.
definitely.
Whenever that's a thing we can do. In the after times.
I think
Yeah.
we talked I think we talked softly about having even like an album release party, which I would be interested in
Yeah,
trying to
it's-
set up
That's that.
something.
Yeah.
Probably a treble because we like treble.
Yeah, shouts to Treble.
Or the
Yeah.
Rock House.
Yeah,
Shoutouts to the Rock House.
Interesting. That'd be interesting. I would love to do that.
I wonder
If we, I don't know how.
when shows are allowed again. I know this is unrelated to Dendron, but the Misha from Periphery was doing a stream a while ago, and he was talking about like, sorry we have to cancel the tour, obviously, blah blah blah. But for everyone asking like, when do you think it's going to be back on the go? Misha doesn't think tour life is going to be normal again until like 2021.
Yeah, I'd say something like that too, actually. It's like the
Until when?
lowest priority thing,
Yeah,
and it's like a high risk. Well, I think the kind of gigs
High
that we
risk,
play,
low
like
priority,
let's
yeah.
be to put the cards on the table. Be honest here. The gigs that we play will be different from the gigs Periphery plays by a long
Oh,
shot.
our gigs are COVID free.
I think bar life, will come back to life before concerts do.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But it
Well,
could
they have the
definitely be a long
levels
time.
in. I don't know what the levels are, but
Well, they said that concerts, like, I don't know about all music shows, but like festivals are not part of the levels thing. They said even when you get to the end of the levels thing, there's no guarantee on those.
Whoa. We never get them again.
Yeah, we did this-
No large gatherings.
But I think hanging out in bars will probably come back because otherwise there'll be riots.
yeah, I don't know anything about the level system. I know level 3 tattoo shops can open again. That's the only thing I looked up.
I actually don't know any of it. I literally haven't looked at it.
Doesn't matter. I'm sure it's still gonna suck until it's completely over.
I think 2's the one where you can hang out with the homies. I looked up that specifically.
I
Dude, let's hang out with
I
the
don't know what
homies.
that's talking about.
That's the one I care about then.
I want to hang out with the homies.
With the boys playing Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Super Smash Bash. I'm craving it for the first
Oh.
time in my life.
Have you guys heard about the like Evo and all the Smash tournaments? They're doing them all online. I saw a clip of a pro Smash match with like MKLeo, and the connection just died in the middle of the match in the tournament.
No.
It's so sad. But I mean, I guess thank you for at least doing it. But
Yeah,
We're
they're
not
trying
doing the
their best.
Olympics online.
yeah, they're not doing the Olympics either.
Yeah, it was
All of these things
Akira.
make sense.
Akira came true.
Bro, I hear it.
I have to see Akira.
You should see Akira. I mean, it's kind of like a side thing. It's not like the whole movie is about how the Olympics were canceled.
I just want to see that bike slide.
But the 2020 Tokyo Olympics were canceled due to something in Akira. I can't remember what. And this was in like the 80s. They didn't know the Olympics were going to be in Tokyo in 2020 or that they'd be canceled.
For sure they did.
That's
Just like
insane.
The Simpsons knows everything.
I want to see skateboarding in the Olympics. God damn it!
Yeah.
Oh, was that real? That was gonna be a thing?
Tony Hawk's Olympic Games.
Mario and Tony Hawk at the Olympic Games.
Dude.
What a wacky franchise. I think they're still making them, or I thought they were.
They are.
Mario and
Mario
Sonic.
and Sonic. They made the Mario and Sonic one for this year, so it's the only video game that takes place at a hypothetical Olympics.
Weird like combination of characters. I never thought that Mario and Sonic just don't belong in a game together. What the fuck?
Oh,
Not the Smash, but
All
that's
right.
what everybody belongs in Smash,
Yeah, everyone belongs in Smash.
including Waluigi. Rip Waluigi.
Yeah.
So, what else? Is there anything else on the agenda? I don't think there is, right?
I don't think so either. What's everyone listening to?
What have I been listening to? The Well. The Well
Yeah.
by Brown Bags is such a good track. Listen to it.
I listened to Walnuts by Brown Bags today, which is also another good track.
Nice.
Both tell like a little story, which is like the best. It's like a
Who were brown
I don't
bags?
know. It's very
Um, Most of their songs, they're definitely emo, but they seem like a little bit, I don't know, they're a little higher tier in regards to complexity. They definitely have a lot of stuff going on in their songs, like nice long instrumental passages. And the Well specifically is a lot more gloomier than your average emo song. Like in regards to, it at least sounds like it's in a
they,
minor key. Yeah.
yeah. They have a vibe. It's definitely they have a certain yeah.
Nice.
Hmm.
It's a nice example of a song that tells a story. It's also a nice example of a song that does. Sometimes I feel like when you have lyrics that are using very proper language or, large, complicated words or anything like that, that sometimes it feels a little bit impersonal or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is a song that definitely does that well. Like, has nice, like a proper sound, everything. Nathan, you kind of know what I mean, right? You've heard this song. Like, you
I've
must
been,
make haste to the well.
I've been listening. I've been on like listening. I haven't really listened to like any new shit really. Just kind of like going back to the songs I love
Nice.
very much so. Whatever. I'm being influenced by my emotion, like by the way I feel a lot. Like I just want to listen. Like I don't have to like try to like music at the moment.
Yeah. That's why I listen to a lot of lo-fi hip hop beats to study / relax to.
Hmm.
What about you, Quinn? What are you listening to?
Yeah.
I'm listening. I actually realized because you asked this, I've been listening to a lot of Protest the Hero. Just like all of their albums, like, almost like one a day. Like I had to drive somewhere today, and I was listening to Scurrilous, and I was like, "Damn, I love this." I've been sent into
Oh,
the band that
Dunzel.
like Dunzel slaps because Dunzel slaps.
They really do.
I
I
do.
really do. Um, I also am still listening like daily to that one Destiny Potato song that came out this year.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
It's
I don't know,
excellent.
the production on that is really crispy. Like the vocals in the chorus are so satisfying, and
Yeah.
the chorus, and it's so I don't know, it's so straightforward, but still like a pain in the ass. So it's like, oh man, that song's got it all.
It's kind of a pain in the ass.
We're basically in the same boat here. I'm listening to a lot of Protest the Hero again, and a lot of Destiny Potato. Not specifically FU, but old stuff
Yeah.
also. Just all of it. But also Periphery. I did like a full listen of Periphery over a couple days, and they've kind of just some old stuff has re-entered the main circuit for a while, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was definitely out of a Periphery groove, and then recently I picked up Periphery 4 for the first time and really gave it a good listen, and I've been loving it.
Nice.
Hmm.
That
Really
was a
good.
slam dunk.
Satellites, dude. It's got such a nice theme, too. It's about, like, mommy nature.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What about you, Connor?
Oh, yeah. So years ago, I don't remember how many years ago. Not like a lot, but like a couple. Quinn got me two Mars Volta CDs, and it was their two last CDs before they broke up. And so basically, when I was trying to get into Mars Volta, everyone talked about their first albums, like their first two especially, how those are classics and stuff. So that's what I was always going for and trying to get into. Like, yeah, let's check this out. And I think what happened is that towards the end, like by these last two albums, they had chilled out a lot and their songs were a lot less fucked. But the interesting that's happening is that like, and those first two albums, they're definitely like classics. Don't get me wrong, and they're insanely good, but they're absolutely nuts, like just so fucked. And then the last two albums, they're more chill, yes, but like there's a lot of room to be less chill than those first two albums and still write like something really interesting and good. So
Yeah.
it's just like good music. It's just good music that's hurts a little less to listen to. So I'm getting really into it. The album, I'm mostly getting to the album Octahedron. If you ever want to listen, the second track, Teflon, it bumps. That's the one I showed you. But
Ooh. I'm
Oh,
gonna
nice.
listen to that. Yeah,
Why is
I've listened to them before and I've liked them, but it's never like a band I've been like, let's do it.
yeah,
Fucking-
if you want to get lost in an album, Francis the Mute. It has a track. The last track's like half an hour long, and it's a journey. It is a journey.
Is it about Francis the Mute? I hope so.
The whole album is. I think it's like a concept album, and the concepts on their albums are also wacky. There was an album they were
Yeah.
recording, and apparently they had a Ouija board or something that they believed was cursed, and it was cursing the production of the album, and like they were having things go wrong while they were trying to record it because of this Ouija board, and they started writing the songs about it.
Jesus.
That's so fucking
Cool
sick.
concept.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just it's one band I've been trying to listen to for like years. I just haven't like dived into it yet. I don't know why, but like they're
But so that's one thing is that
Uh-huh.
it took me years to get into when I tried listening to them because
Ethan is dead.
it's quite abrasive. But I think the one like the stuff I'm listening to is probably a better entry point than what I was trying to listen to than trying to jump to the classic stuff.
I would say.
I feel like it
Yeah,
doesn't
I've
get enough
been
credit.
fucking listening to you, or hearing you listen, fucking talking about them for a few years now, and I feel like every time we have a conversation about it, I'm like, fuck yeah, I gotta get into them, and then I never do.
Yeah.
See, that was everything.
Yeah.
After we were talking about this, I put a bunch of Mars Volta on a playlist for myself, so now I have to.
Nice.
But yeah, for years I've just because I know the one song from Guitar Hero or whatever,
Oh yeah, that's a good track.
right?
The one that has it's in Spanish, or it has that section in
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I love that song, but I've never traveled past it, and now knowing that they're really whack.
If you want to dive on their albums, I can give you more rundowns later.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sure
listening
he's
to
giving me
all
the
of
full
them.
rundown. That wasn't fun. I'll probably just like grab all the albums and do it.
Sweet.
hmm
Yeah.
so I think I'm ready to call it quits there. My internet's dying. I don't know if you guys what you guys think.
We saw you drop out for a sec.
Yeah.
Where's it?
That was good chats. We talked about pretty much what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Writing, how we're doing.
The folks know our process now as much as they're going to. I do feel like there's more to be said about it, but it's kind of stuff that like it isn't words, you know.
Too hard to explain.
Like sometimes if I'm trying to teach a guitar part or something, like the way I explain stuff in the moment or with a guitar in my hand can be different. And like there's a lot of little specific stuff too we could probably get into. But I mean,
Yeah.
strictly musician stuff.
Wouldn't it be
Someone's got-
awesome to nerd out and like do a video where you actually have Logic open and kind of walk through the demo?
It would be pretty sick.
That would be
Mhm.
cool.
It would be pretty sick for those that can appreciate that kind of thing.
Yeah, the very few, maybe just us.
Yeah.
And, mostly just
Watch
us.
our
For
own
that.
stream back.
But I kind of think of it like, yeah, most of the stuff even that we said tonight was like mostly incoherent to pretty much anybody. But if you have listened to the music, then it might be worth a listen to see how we put it together. So it's kind of like if our songs were to catch on, if the album does get popular in some sense, people could go back and look and be like, oh, that's cool. They talked about how they wrote that album,
Yeah.
in the midst of writing it too.
hmm
It'll be interesting in a year or two time as well if I stumble across this again and listen to it and compare to what we do in the present.
Yeah,
If
I feel like
that's-
we're only gonna go up. We're gonna just all record from separate regions and throw it together.
That'd be pretty sick.
I still think that the magic of the jam room is too important.
Definitely.
I also wouldn't want to be in a band that's like not playing shows ever at all. Like if we're all in a separate province, it's kind of like what is going on?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Dendron 2 is coming.
Dendron 2
Dendron
is
2 is
coming.
coming.
Someday.
I was hoping for late 2020, but now I'm thinking like early 2021.
Yeah, it might have to be that way.
More likely.
It sucks. It's almost been a year since we won the studio time.
Really?
Well, it was August.
Yeah.
August, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we're like 3/4 of the way.
Yeah.
Pretty whack. We're gonna round up on when we won before we start recording potentially.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Ugh.
It'll all be over eventually. Hopefully, the next one will be a quicker turnaround, and there won't be a global pandemic.
Yeah, well, I think we have
Fuck you, even Tony coronavirus.
I think we have more
I think.
You don't think we have more?
With the process we have, we'll be able to turn around another album quicker. I think.
yeah, there's a lot of momentum and just like the process is better. We can do it real quick like.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to mention. Like, writing the first EP was necessary in order to get me to the place where I can write songs now. Like, if you gave me, for example, Our Weary Roots now, like the music, I would write something better. But I needed to write that song. That was
Exactly. Iteration.
Help me. Yeah, like especially where our music is kind of fucked. It's kind of.
It's a skill that I'm glad you've developed.
I had this conversation last night actually. You can't be good at writing unless you've been bad at writing a few times. You know, band 1 and band 2, they're not going to be good. You know, it's a miracle if they are. You got to be used to writing with people and writing by yourself and like I don't know, you got to make the bad songs before you make the good songs.
Yeah, I'm trying to spend a little bit of time writing stuff now while I'm home. And it's not even stuff that has to see the light of day, but just, again, to be going through the motions, I think.
Yeah.
And it sort of keeps the skill sharp.
Yeah, it's nice to keep the gears grinding up top.
I mean, it's also a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's nice creating something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that little dopamine rush.
Especially when you listen back to it like 12 times.
And then you enter the hyperbolic riff chamber and you never want to hear the riff again.
The hyperbolic riff chamber. Have we explained that?
I love it. No, Ryan, say.
Okay. So basically, what I do is sometimes I will write a guitar part that is actually too hard for me to play right now. And you know, I can barely bust it out at the speed I want to, but it has to be this part. These are the notes I want. This is excellent. It's perfect. I will not waver until I can play it. So, and of course, it's different than, oh, I can't play this bit in a Protest the Hero song. I have to fucking risk my life for it now, because I don't. But this is like, no, this is gonna be a Dendron song. It has to live.
Mm-hmm.
So I will tab it out, and then I will make a loop of just that section that goes like 20 times. And I'll start at, say, half speed, or however low I need to go. And by the end of those 20 repetitions, you have the riff perfectly memorized, I fucking guarantee you. And you can play it perfectly with that speed. And now, the next 20 at 10 BPM or 20 BPM or 5 BPM up, whatever you want to do, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna like get it within the first few runs, and then you're gonna have it mastered by the end of the 20. And you do that until you're at full speed, and then you go a little past full speed, just so you can be sure that you got full speed down. It's torture, and it takes such a long time, but I promise you, you know that riff when you're done.
Ryan, I love that so much.
Dude, you play a riff for one day, and it was actually a year.
Yeah, exactly. The hyperbolic riff.
It worked. It makes it quicker. And I don't know why it took so long for me to ever start using metronomes. It just feels like more work, and it's boring because it's slow.
Yeah.
But like, if only I had embraced this earlier in my life.
It's like you're recording stuff, and it's like, dang, playing to a metronome is its own skill, I realize, while recording, so I should be playing like I'm recording stuff more often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably where it started happening, was me doing covers and stuff. Because you need to be fucking perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Yes,
Nice.
Okay, my internet's constantly shitting out, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I think we're
I
pretty.
think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Yarp.